Hey, what's happening, people? How y'all doing? Welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Want to thank everybody for stopping by, dropping by on this little chilly Sunday afternoon. Well, I'm sorry, Sunday evening, 8 o'clock Central Time. You know where it is. You know what we do. So I just thank y'all for stopping in and popping in. Hope you've had a great week. I hope you had a great weekend, and yeah, I hope you got a great week planned. It's going to be a little warmer. Yeah, we got to warm up a little bit. Yeah. Boy, it's been a different kind of cold. I was in Kansas this past week, and yeah, man, that was a whole different kind of thing going on out there. I don't remember the last time I was that kind of cold. So made some changes to the show, made some adjustments. So I need a mic check. You guys let me know if I'm loud and clear, if I sound good. I'd appreciate that. Let's look into my magic mirror and see what we got going on. Hey, Miss Nanette, thank you for stopping by. How you doing, Miss Nanette? Brother Roger, good to see you. Yes, I see your daughter, 8 o'clock on the dot. Okay, there you go. Look at you. So we're here, and the Kansas City game is on. So we probably won't see Brother Wilson this evening because I know he's a big Kansas City fan. So it is what it is. But tonight uh, we're going to talk about something a little different tonight. The message tonight came from some introspective of my own. And I did some reading and I find that more people than I thought also go through the same thing. Tonight's message is called I Don't Know This Person in the Mirror. So we're going to talk about that moment that's unsettling and it's universal because it's not just universal to me. It's that moment when you look in the mirror and feel like a stranger staring back at you. I know we done been through some things. We've grown and we've had children and families and careers and career changes and all kinds of different things have happened in our lives. We've had some health issues, we've had some life setbacks, but we get to a point to where we're staring in the mirror, we're going, who is this person in front of me? And it's a joke I do on stage. I say, well, part of the joke is I'm one day I decide to walk in the mirror, to walk in the bathroom. I'm looking in the mirror, and typically we go in the bathroom, we brush our teeth, we wash our face, and we get on with our day. Some of you ladies trim up your mustaches, whatever you got to do. But one day I decided to walk in the bathroom and take a good hard look at myself. And I'm like, man, who is this old guy in the mirror? It's me. So it's kind of a self reflection or perspective or whatever the word is that I may be missing. But hey, it happens. So I see people popping in. Hey, Brother James, good to see you. Annette, great to see you this evening. Thanks for stopping in. Baby sis, good to see you. She says, hey, dear brother, dear, and the Madness fam. James, thanks for stopping in, Jim. Really appreciate you, bro. But for those of y'all that just coming in, the name of the show tonight is I Don't Know This Person in the Mirror. And we were talking about where it came from. And it's from me just taking a look at me and then doing some research. But we look in the mirror and we don't recognize that person that's looking back at us. The image is us. It's familiar, uh, but the connection feels lost. I mean, it's like, man, I just don't know. I don't know who this is. And if you've ever experienced this, you know how disorienting it can be. It can set you back. It can make you go, whoa. But here's the truth. It's not a sign of failure. It's a call to rediscover. Yeah, rediscovery. That's what it is. Tonight, we're going to explore what it means to feel disconnected from yourself, and more importantly, how to find your way back. So, Brother James says, where's my 30-year-old self? That's a good question. My brother, Antoine, good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping in. Peace and blessings to you, too. Keeping up with you on your music thing, man. And yes, you're right. Don't forget to like and love. Thank you, baby sis, for putting that up. Don't forget to like and love. But yeah, we're gonna find our way back because I know I'm not the only one experiencing this phenomenon, if you will. Hey, Miss Marion, good to see you. The experience of feeling lost is a real thing. So let's start by trying to normalize this, okay? Feeling like you don't know who you are anymore happens to everyone. Life has a way of throwing curveballs that can shake you up. It can shake up our sense of self, who we are and what we are. Maybe it's a major life transition, retirement, divorce, an empty nest, or the loss of someone you love. Maybe it's burnout from your job that once lit you up, but now it's just drains you. But, or maybe it's simply that one day you wake up and realize you've been so busy surviving that you haven't been living. That's the one that gets a lot of us, that we're so busy surviving that we forget how to live, how we used to live, how we want to live. And we lose track of who we are and what we are. And we become robots and we go on autopilot. For instance, when I got divorced, I was on autopilot. I went to work, I got paid, I looked after my kids, I took care of them, and did some things that I probably shouldn't have did because I didn't know who I was anymore. I knew what I was. I knew I was a dad, and I knew I was an employee, and I knew I had some friends, but I had lost me. I didn't know who me was anymore. And this happens to a lot of people when things change, when life starts lifing and life be lifing, we lose touch with ourselves. It just happens. Marion says you get stuck in a rut day after day. Yes, it's the same old humdrum, day after day after day. The same old routine, day after day after day. But in that routine, we lose ourselves. We do. Antoine says we get lost when in survival mode and forget to live. Yes, we do. Now, I've been in well, I take that back. I was in survival mode since I was a teenager. And one of the greatest things that ever happened to me was having a family. Children to take care of, and they were mine, and a permanent place to live, and all those wonderful things that gave me stability. But when I went through my divorce, things changed dramatically. And I just couldn't figure it out. It took me a while to get to and figure out what was going on with me. I also had that same thing, that same moment when I came out the military. For years, my identity had been wrapped up in my service. I was a combat medic. I was a soldier. I was part of a unit. But when I transitioned out, I didn't know who I was without that uniform. I wasn't Davis. I was now just Vernon. Or I was that DJ guy, or I was that Jiffy Lube guy. It was like everything that once defined me had been taken away from me. It was gone. It was stripped away. And honestly, it scared me. It felt like looking into a void, like just staring, 1,000-yard stare into a void. So there's this thing that you got to do. That moment in front of the mirror is called the mirror moment. It's not just about your reflection. It's about what's behind your eyes. What's behind them? The soul searching for yourself, the soul searching that you got to do yourself. And I had to do that. when I looked at myself in those moments, I saw someone tired, someone disconnected, disoriented, someone searching for meaning. But here's what I've learned. That mirror moment, as uncomfortable as it is a wake-up call. It's like it's life saying it's time to reconnect. That's what it's like. Excuse me. James says, at least I crawled out of the bottom. That was your moment, my friend. Excuse me. Now, let's talk about something. Let's talk about why we lose ourselves. Why does this happen? Why do we lose? Why is it that we lose ourselves? I think it comes down to a few key reasons. One, external roles take over. We get so caught up in being a parent, a partner, a professional, or a caregiver, whether it's to our kids or to our older parents, that we forget who we are underneath those roles. We forget. We lose ourselves doing so much for others. Life then, life transition shakes us. They do. When life changes, the labels we've relied on fall away, and we're left wondering who we are without them. When we lose those labels of whatever our job put on us or our family puts on us, we're wondering who we are. The third one is suppressing authenticity. Sometimes we spend so much time trying to fit into our societal or cultural expectations that we lose sight of our true selves, trying to be what society says that we need to be instead of being who we are. That's deep. Does any of this sound familiar to y'all? Is any of this resonating with you? If so, say something in the chat. Let me know. Let me assure you of something. You're not broken. You're human. And being human means you have the power to rebuild, rediscover, and reconnect with you. You get to find yourself. And you can find yourself. And it's a journey. Annette says, I lost my identity when I separated from the army and lost the family. I'm sorry for that. But you found new purpose in your life with your horse therapy. I can't see that say that EQ word that I don't know how to say it right. So equinine or no, but you know what I mean. The journey back to yourself, it is a journey, but it's a journey only you can do. And let's talk about how we find our way back, because that's why we're here tonight, right? To figure out how to stop feeling like a stranger in our own skin and start feeling at home again, because sometimes we don't feel like we're at home in our own skin. Yes, we see ourselves and we remember what we look like and we know it's us, but we got to find our way back. We're just walking through we're just walking and we're lost. And it's not a great feeling. And it wasn't a great feeling for me. And I guess the reason why I was doing the self-reflection that I was doing is because of many of you guys know what I've been going through. And I kind of lost track of me. I did. And I had to say, man, where you at? What you doing? We got to talk. I needed to find me. And I was a long time ago, I was told that I can find 26 hours in a day and 8 hours in a week. I mean, and 8 days in a week. Which is probably true. This last past year has really caused me to put distance between me and thee, because I've tried to be so much to so many different people. And I struggled, but I found my way back. Nah, I kept my job going. I kept everything, all the balls that I was juggling, all the chainsaws with fire on them. I kept them juggling. But man, it happened because I was trying to do a great job on my job, and I was trying to take care of my family, and I was trying to look out for my family members, and I was looking out for my friends. But I forgot about me. James says, all hitting too close to home. Well, James, I told you, this is not just about me. I know I'm not the only one going through this. Classic Gemini says, definitely feeling this message. Ears wide open. Annette says, when I started to working as a nurse at the VA, it brought me home. You helped me. You helped so many people find themselves. Thank you. Well, thank you. And I'm glad you did. DC Fluffy says, that's the key, finding your way back to yourself. Tim says, I've lost myself, rediscovered myself, then my life shanghaied me. I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at the word. I just never thought I would be saying the word shanghaied. So, like I say, I'm glad that y'all are piping in because it's not just me. Thank you, Jim. Jim says, ringing true. No lies detected. I'm just telling it like it is tonight. So the journey back to yourself, it is a journey because that's why we're here, to figure out how to stop feeling like a stranger. The first step to doing that is you got to start with self-reflection. You got to actually not just look in the mirror, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. You got to pause and really reflect and ask yourself, who am I when nobody's watching? What makes me feel alive? What makes me feel? What makes me tick? What have I let go of that used to bring me joy? Because that's one of the things that we do is when we're doing so much for so many, we let go of the things that bring us joy. These questions might not have easy answers right away, and that's okay. You might not like the answer that you get, and that's okay too. You got to ask yourself why. And you're going to have to ask yourself why 5 times. Why? 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 The point is to start those conversations with yourself. I told you, you got your gratitude journal, and that journaling can be a very powerful tool because you can write without judgment. Just start writing. Let your thoughts spill out onto the paper. Just if you need me to send you some ink pens, I'll send you ink pens and some paper. But you got to let your thoughts spill out on the paper, and you'll start to see patterns and truths that you're looking at that is going to be looking back at you. You got to look in the mirror and let it tell you the truth about yourself. And that's hard. That's real hard. Jim says, my journey is almost done. No, it's what? I don't know. Brother James, we got to talk, I guess. Marion says, it took me a long time to figure out I can't solve everybody else's problems. No, you cannot. And you will lose yourself in other people's problems. You will damn near drown trying to save other people. You got to put your mask on first. Roger says, I don't like what's in the mirror. I don't know how to stop it. Roger, the best thing I could tell you, and I got to say this disclaimer, no, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. Yes, I'm a certified life coach, but acknowledging the fact that you don't like what's in the mirror is the first step, because now you got to figure out, how do you change that? What do you got to do to fix that? What do you have to, what is it that you need to get past that? Is it something that you need to stop doing or something you need to start doing? Is there somebody you need to talk to get past that image that you don't like in the mirror? That's the first step, and that's the hard part. But it's a start. Annette says, I respect you keeping yourself together during your cancer journey. It's the hardest thing I have to do. Boy, you hit home tonight. I miss my close friends. Well, thank you for saying what you said, Annette, but maybe, just maybe, you need to reach out to those close friends if you're not in touch with them. If you're missing them, unless they have left this plane of existence, maybe it's time for you to reconnect. Brother Smuggy, you're dead head. I mean, you dead ass on that. The answer is in you. Ask the questions. And those questions, Roger, begin with why. Why? Why don't I like myself? Why did this happen? Why am I going through this? Or whatever why that you have to ask yourself to get an honest answer. And you have to be honest with you. I think we did a show last week, man. Stop lying to yourself. Tell yourself the truth. Look in the mirror and let it tell you the truth. And then deal with that truth. You got to revisit what brings you joy. That's step number 2. Think back to a time when you felt the most alive. What were you doing? What was it that you were doing when you felt the most alive? Who were you with? For me, I found that laughter was my lifeline. I'd always loved making people laugh. I've always loved doing that. But in the grind of life, I let that part of my life slip away. For 10 years, I didn't do comedy. Rediscovering comedy, coming back to comedy, was like reconnecting with an old friend. For you, it might be painting or running or volunteering or dancing in your kitchen. Whatever it is, give yourself permission to do it again. This last past year, when I was walking away from me, as it felt, I had to find my way. I had to actually, Carolyn caught me one day and she said, you did a good show, but you didn't look like you were having fun. And she was right. And I didn't want to own it, but I had to own it. So I had to ask myself, why am I not having fun? What do I need to do to get back to having fun? doing what I absolutely love to do. And I found my way back. I did. My way of doing it may not be your way of doing it. I'm a man of faith. I prayed my way back. And I'm still saying that same prayer before every show. Yeah. Am I funny? Yeah, I'm funny. But I wasn't having fun. I wasn't enjoying what I was doing because I was so wrapped up in what else was going on in my life that that I was dedicating me to, that I was separating myself. And I wasn't all me when I hit that stage. Hey, Carol. Hey, Charlotte. Good to see you. James says, dodging bullets and running through the jungles made me have fun. You're a different breed, my brother. You are a different breed. Now, I know we're always talking about surrounding ourselves with the right people. And I'm so glad that you guys come here every Sunday. And some of y'all stop by. You know, some of you guys have accidentally found me, but I'm glad that you did. But you guys were part of me finding my way back to me, because every Sunday I had to find a way back. Because if y'all noticed, last year I didn't take a hiatus from this. I usually take a hiatus from the show for about 3 months. I didn't take a hiatus because I needed you guys. I had something to look forward to. I'm surrounding myself with you, the right people. And sometimes we lose ourselves because we're surrounded by people who expect us to be someone we're not. That's not y'all's expectation of me. Sometimes you got to look at your circle and just ask the question, are the people in your life lifting you up or holding you back? You got to find those people who see the real you and encourage your growth. And if you don't have those people yet, get your ass out there and find them. Join a group, attend a class, or even just strike up a conversation with someone new. I know some of us are introverts and some of us are extroverts. You may join a group and I know people who join groups and don't even talk. They don't converse. They read. They're voyeurs. So you got to surround yourself with the right people. Tim says, we have both been there and back with regrets to the comedy buddy. Yeah, you're right. You are one of those, you are one of the ones help me keep me going. Your message is spot on again this week. Just wanted to check in on what the message was this week. I'll be seeing you in a few weeks, my friend. And I look forward to it, Tim. Thank you very much, bro. And I thank you for the opportunity you afforded me that we're going to be doing in March. So thank you. Roger said, we needed you back too. Well, thank you, Roger. I appreciate that. My family helped me to find my way back because my family is important to me. And I know we have talked on this show about people struggling with family and old relationships and things of that nature. I'll say what I've said before. You got to let this shit go. You really need to let that shit go. DC Fluffy say heavy on the introvert, but with extrovert tendencies. Well, thank you, Tim. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm running late. I'm running a little long. It's 30 minutes already. And I'm not through with the message. So Can y'all hang in there with me? Give me some thumbs up, some likes, some loves. Let me know if you can hang in here with me, okay? So the fourth thing we got to do, we got to embrace new experiences. One of the best ways to reconnect with yourself is to step outside your comfort zone. And we talked about this last week. Try something you've never done before. Travel to a new place, learn a new skill, or take up a new hobby. New experiences challenge us, but they also uh they they do challenge us, but they also awaken parts of ourselves we didn't know exist. Classic Gemini say, take your time, Pastor. Wow. I'm not preaching, I'm just teaching, daughter. I'm gonna use you as an example. Daughter called me the other day, said, Dad, I'm going to Florida. A friend of mine's got an Airbnb. I'm gonna hop on this plane and go to Florida. I'm like, how you gonna go to Florida just like that? She said, I got points and it's only gonna cost me $5. And she was gone. She's gone on vacation. She sent me pictures of her swimming with dolphins and zip lining and all kinds of things. I'm like, wow. But I've always told her, live your life. Live your life. Travel, see some things, learn some new skills, learn some new hobbies. But I tell everybody that. And those new experiences in our lives, they do challenge us. But they also wake us up. They wake something up inside of us that we didn't even know was there. You got to practice some self-compassion. And I say this a lot too. You got to be kind to yourself. It's easy to feel frustrated or ashamed when you're lost. But shame won't get you where you want to go. It won't. Shame it won't get you where you want to go. You got to treat yourself the way you treat a friend or a loved one who's struggling. Shame is a crazy thing. It really is. And I've been there. Just like many of us have been there when we have fallen short, when we've made mistakes, when we didn't know how we was going to fix something, when we've lost ourselves. Shame won't get you where you want to go. It won't. You got to remind yourself that it's okay to not have it all figured out. And sometimes we're scared to say that. We're scared to say we don't have the plan. We ain't got all the pieces to the puzzle. I'm not holding the big joker and the little joker in a game of spades. I don't have a winning hand. And that's hard to admit to. It's hard to say, I can't fix it. I don't know how to fix it. It's hard. It's hard. But you got to show yourself some self-compassion. Remind yourself that it's okay not to have it all figured out. It's okay. Give yourself permission to fail. And I have failed. I've failed a lot in my life, but you know what? I have won more than I have failed. And as long as God gives me breath, I will continue to win. But I will have some failures, and I have to just accept that. There's going to be things in my life that I can't fix. I and you are a work in progress, continuous work in progress. And that's a beautiful thing. And that part of that progress is reminding ourselves of who we are and not losing track of what we are, who we are, and why we are. Being able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, hey, this is me. This, I can see me. I see you. And it's okay. We're going to figure this out. It's okay to pull yourself close to you and sit down on a bench and have that conversation. It's all right. DC Fluffy says, I've attended a couple paint and sip events recently, and I really had a nice time. Definitely a new experience for me. Congratulations. There you go. I was in Manhattan, Kansas, Fluffy, and I saw a sign right down the street from my hotel room last week that said bingo. When it was Wednesday night, and I almost went in and sat down to play bingo. That's another story. We my mother used to play bingo a lot, and then the night before I went into the army, I went to bingo with my mom, and I finally won after 18 years of playing bingo with my mom. I finally won at bingo. Well, not 18 years, but since I was a teenager, and I think I won like $100. And the woman came over and paid me. And my mom said, "Let me see that money." And I handed it to her. She put it in a bra. She said, "Well, this is for all them years I paid for your cards and you didn't win. So this is payback." uh, where's my chat? I'm losing my chat. Uh, let's see. Um, Failure will make you stronger. Yes, it will, Marion. It will. It really will. Uh, Classic Gemini said, "This life won't be possible without my parents, my mother's spirit, and you, and Miss Nanette, guidance and love." Well, thank you. Thank you, daughter. Thank you. Ain't nothing wrong with my eyes, James. I'm good. Uh, DC Fluffy said, "I really hate that you had to feel that way, big bro, because no one has all the answers, and it's okay to say, I don't know. Not right now. Maybe next time, or no, etc. Gotta set expectations from others and boundaries for yourself without any guilt." You're right. Um, you're right. So let's close this out, y'all. I know I'm over, so I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. Let me leave you with a thought. When you feel lost, it's not the end of the road. It's not. It's not the end of the road. It's an invitation to rediscover who you are. That person in the mirror, that's not a stranger. That's not somebody just walked in off the street. That's not somebody you just met. That's you. That's you waiting, wanting to be reintroduced, waiting to shine again. You have the power to rebuild, to redefine, and to reconnect with the person you were always meant to be. So tonight, after this show, whether it's tonight or tomorrow or the next day or next week, you take a minute to look in the mirror and just say, I see you. I see you. I'm listening to you. I want to hear you. And we're going to figure this out together because you will. You may not know who this is in the mirror today, but I hope you find them real soon because, yeah, you need you. And if you disconnected from you, you got to find you. You got to ask those questions. You got to ask those hard questions and let you tell you the truth. And last but not least, you got to really just understand you can't fix it all. It's not all for you to carry. It's not all your burden. It doesn't belong to you and you can't make it belong to you. You can't own what you don't own. There's some things you just don't want to buy and you shouldn't. So that's the message for tonight, y'all. Well, as I say every week, I thank y'all I really appreciate y'all. You have a blessed week also, Annette, but really appreciate y'all. This has been another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly, Vernon Longhorn Davis. As we say every week, I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Respect yourself. Take care of them kids. Respect our vets. Until next Sunday, God bless y'all. Yes, you will, Roger. God bless y'all. And $2.